Have you ever gone above and beyond for a homeless person? I parked in the same spot every day near my job at Downtown Music Store. Every morning I walked past this older guy sitting next to a beat-up piano under a ripped blue tarp. His name was Lionel, and sometimes he'd play soft classical pieces for whatever coins people tossed his way. Most folks just hurried past him like he was invisible, but something about his music always made me stop. The first time I gave him money, he looked up and said thank you in this quiet voice that didn't match the rough way he looked. After that, I'd drop change every morning, sometimes bring him coffee from the shop next door. He never asked for anything, just nodded and kept playing. One snowy afternoon in February, I heard him playing this incredible version of Clair de Lune, and I literally stopped walking. It was perfect, every single note exactly where it should be. This wasn't some guy who learned a few songs on the street. This was real talent, the kind you only hear in concert halls. I walked over and said, "Did you used to teach music or something?" Lionel just looked up with these tired eyes and smiled. "Tried to once," he said, then went back to playing. That bothered me for days. I worked at the music store and asked my manager Ben if maybe Lionel could come inside during the cold weather, play for customers when things were slow. Ben laughed and shook his head. "Insurance won't cover having a homeless guy in here, sorry." So I tried something different. I started filming Lionel playing, just short clips on my phone. I uploaded them to YouTube with titles like Parking Lot Piano Virtuoso and Street Musician Plays Classical. Most videos got maybe 50 views, but I kept posting them anyway. 3 weeks later, I got a message that changed everything. A retired professor from Juilliard had seen one of my videos. He wrote, "The man in your video looks exactly like David Lyons, a brilliant pianist who disappeared from the New York classical scene in the 90s after a mental health crisis. Do you know his real name?" I printed out the message and showed it to Lionel the next morning. His hands started shaking as he read it. He was quiet for a long time, staring at the paper. Finally, he whispered, "That used to be me." The whole story came out slowly. Lionel was actually David Lyons, a classical pianist who'd been performing at Lincoln Center when he had a complete schizophrenic breakdown right in the middle of a concert. He'd walked off stage during Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2 and just disappeared. His family thought he was dead. I contacted the professor, Dr. Elizabeth Harper, and arranged for her to visit. When she saw Lionel, she started crying right there on the sidewalk. "David, we thought we'd lost you forever." But I didn't stop there. I talked to my manager about organizing a benefit concert at our shop. We got permission to use the parking lot, brought in a real piano, and invited local music students. I posted flyers everywhere and reached out to the classical music community online. The night of the concert, over 200 people showed up. Lionel sat at the piano in his cleanest shirt, hands trembling as he placed them on the keys. He started with Clair de Lune, the same piece I'd heard him play that snowy day. By the time he finished, half the audience was in tears. We raised enough money to get him into a mental health program and temporary housing. Dr. Harper even helped him reconnect with his sister in Boston, who'd been searching for him for 25 years. 6 months later, I got a call from Lionel. He was performing again, this time at a small recital hall downtown. I sat in the front row and watched him play that same Rachmaninoff piece he'd walked away from all those years ago. He finished it this time,